It's those ideas that then bore the fruit of more equality later. I want to go to this piece, then we'll get into the economic news. It's just the fact that we're getting police shot every week, sometimes every day, and we've got camera people getting killed and reporters getting killed, and it's all basically racially motivated. And you've got to dig in the media to even find where it's being said. Sheriff blames anti-police rhetoric for killing of white police officer. Well, it's beyond anti-police. It's racist, it's being pushed, and this young man, who was obviously had problems, was manipulated into believing he was doing something valiant. And you've got folks saying, oh, we're just joking talking about killing police. It's all just free speech. And now this gentleman will be sent to death row, undoubtedly, and spend 20 years waiting to be given lethal injection. But let's go to this Mark Dice piece. Then we're going to come back and get into central banks can't save the markets from a crash. They shouldn't even try. Here is the Mark Dice piece.
Probably saw on the news that this morning the hunters did capture what they have called the Loch Ness Monster, Nessie.
Really?
And we're just asking people if they think Nessie should be set free. Is that really fair to keep her in captivity like this?
No, I think they should just let Nessie free. I mean, well, supposedly if they found her, like, that's messed up to keep an animal, like, captured.
You probably didn't check the news. It's
no,
really,
no.
It's like... I mean, there's occasionally the marine biologists will find these old animals that have thought to have been extinct, and so they did capture the Loch Ness Monster, 17-foot-long Platosaurus. And a lot of people are saying that it's really unfair to keep Nessie in captivity.
These people will sign anything
back into the wild.
Yeah, I think because it's like, animal rights, like it's the same thing as humans, like let them be free, because it's like not right, as I said, that to keep, a special being, like a special animal, like keep and like show them off to people. It's like, no, let the animal be free and let, other people enjoy the view and let it be in nature, basically. So
what's your reaction to the discovery and the capture?
I'm actually surprised because I didn't even know it because I'm not from here, so I never really watched the news, and I'm just surprised that they found Loch Ness Monster, but they should let
her go free.
Yeah.
All right, that's what we thought too.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome, man.
Confirmed authentic today, a Platosaurus dwelling deep within the waters of the loch.
Really?
Captured this morning.
Really?
Getting people's reactions to this historic find.
They should turn it loose and leave it alone.
Yeah, PETA is demanding that Nessie be set free immediately. You agree with their stance?
Yes. I mean, it's a wild animal, just like any other animal. There's probably another one out there.
His wife or her husband.
Or whatever, yes. Yeah, it's kind of funny how man does things sometimes.
We're just ruining everything.
They see something they don't understand, and what do they do with it? They grab it, drag it away.
And put it in a zoo.
Yeah.
So we're going to free Nessie. You agree?
I agree.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
On the news today that they actually... I'm sorry. I can't do this with a straight face. Well, we were going to try to tell you that they found the Loch Ness Monster to see what your reactions were, but I couldn't hold a straight face. So we're going to go talk to someone else. Thank you. So a lot of people are calling for Nessie's return into the wild.
Absolutely.
In Loch Ness. Do you think it's unfair to keep her in captivity after she was free all these years to roam?
Absolutely. How SeaWorld deals with their orcas in general is disgusting. Watch Blackfish. It's really eye-opening.
Well, this is an extremely endangered species we're talking about here.
That's even worse.
The only one really known in existence. Is it fair to study her? Or
hit pause. Again, these people are actually smart compared to the usual ones because at least they have an argument for why. It's showing how gullible they are and how they'll sign on to anything. But they've got all these movies coming out about bullying of handicapped kids and stuff, And then I was researching them. There's 3 major movies coming out in the next year about this, documentaries. Well, 2 of them are documentaries. One of them is a film based on a true story. And all of it at the end is financed by Soros groups to ban free speech and get hate speech bills passed, where if someone says what you said hurts their feelings, then you don't have free speech. And you notice the feds have directed the cops to try to, like, stop people filming in public as well. That violates the First Amendment. So there's this major war on legitimate free speech. And it's done with this whole politically correct backdrop. You can see the whole video at Infowars.com. The Loch Ness Monster found and captured alive. Absolutely ridiculous. And again, we're just illustrating absurdity there. There's another report. Obama has declared open season on cops. University of Texas removes Jefferson Davis, Woodrow Wilson statues. Obama has renamed a mountain from a U.S. president to a native name. And again, it can sound nice on the surface, but that's what communist regimes do, is start renaming everything. I mean, this is not good. It just sets the precedent that they control reality. And because the president gets to name things. He's God. Obama makes waves by renaming third largest peak. Bernie Sanders blames financial elite for economic crisis. Incorrectly claims climate change is major issue for Americans. New York Times, a massive gun grab, only way to impact violent crime. They're calling for gun confiscation. There's another article by Ron Paul. Many blame the crash on China's recent currency devaluation. It is true that the crash was caused by a flawed monetary policy. However, the fault lies not with China's central bank, but with the U.S. Federal Reserve. And Paul's article breaks that down. We've had a bunch of experts on that concur with that in the last few weeks, that it's the Federal Reserve's massive overprinting and issuance of dollars worldwide that's pushing these huge bubbles. We're going to be breaking that down after the break. Briefly, the ultimate energy is not derived out of caffeine or some stimulant. It's derived from giving your body the building blocks it needs. And the number one building block is organic methylcobalamin, vitamin B12, taken sublingually under the tongue. Absolutely powerful. It's had a huge effect for myself, my family, and others. Your purchase of Secret 12 helps fund the operation, so it's a win-win. You really cannot lose supporting the info war. Our super high-quality B12 formulation, known as Secret 12, is now back in stock, and we're offering for 1 week only 10% off at InfoWarsLife.com. Secret 12 combines the 2 most bioavailable forms of vitamin B12 into a single bottle. Get medical-grade methylcobalamin combined with, I can't pronounce it right, in every dropper of Secret 12. The best part, no injections. Take it right under the tongue. B12 is known for its energy-boosting effects, and it really works. I've been taking Secret 12 every morning for extra energy while hiking, and I can tell the difference. Experience the power of ultra-bioavailable B12 with Secret 12 at InfoWarsLife.com and read the 5-star reviews from third-party sites below. InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139. We'll be right back. Stay with us. In some of the other news, Rand Paul promises to shut down NSA data center if he becomes president. We'll convert it into a constitutional center to study the Fourth Amendment. Love that. Continuing here, a Saudi-led coalition airstrike kills 36 more in one day in Yemen, all of them civilians. That's Reuters. Federal appeals court, speaking of NSA, overturns blocking of NSA mass telephone spying. Law allowed the cell collection had been ruled unconstitutional. But they never stopped. They kept doing it. Donald Trump says U.S. treats illegals better than vets. Well, yeah, they don't put out Homeland Security reports saying veterans are the #1 terror group. They don't give the vets, free health care and then get to have their baby for free. The vet might get some, quote, free health care if you can jump through all the hoops, but their wife doesn't. Illegal immigrants, in many cases, not in all cases, but many cases, are treated better than our veterans, who are the greatest people we have, said Trump. And, of course, he was attacked for saying that. That's just some of the news on that front up at Infowars.com. Here is the big economic news. Central banks can't save the markets from a crash, and they shouldn't even try. Alarming data from China was met with a soothing hint about monetary policy, but treasuries cannot keep pumping cheap credit into a series of asset bubbles. And interesting how this featured article at the London Guardian does not say who wrote it. So I guess that means it's from the editorial board of the Guardian. And you read this, it sounds like something Ron Paul would say, something I would say, as the common sense begins to basically permeate out that you're not going to be able to pump up bubbles with just fiat currency and fiat derivatives and fiat counterfeit instruments. That those won't feed you. Those won't actually power a society. But the globalists that are in control are actively trying to shut down the real jobs, the real farms, the real energy, the real manufacturing base, and only allow economic development in zones that are exempt from taxation, basically controlled by them. This is a takeover. This financial crisis is orchestrated. And as it intensifies, get ready for new calls for more too-big-to-fail infusions of taxpayer money, which gives the globalists first use of all the fiat money. Then they pass it on to us as it loses value. Like children clinging to their parents, stock market traders turned to their central banks last week as they sought protection from the frightening economic figures coming out of China. Surely, they asked, the central banks would ward off the approaching boogeyman, as they had so many times since the 2008 crash. The U.S. Federal Reserve came up with the goods. The president of the Federal Reserve, the Bank of New York, hinted that the interest rates rise may be expected next month, was likely to be delayed. They're going to keep the QE going, as we predicted. A signal that borrowing costs would remain at rock bottom was all it took. And again, they act like the Fed's doing this because we want it. They keep dangling it out there till we beg for it so they can say it's our fault when this all happens. And the article goes on. It's excellent. It breaks it all down. Financial Times reports Beijing's abandoned large-scale share purchases. So that means they're going to let their market go down. And disrupting major ad revenue online, Apple's ad blockers rile publishers. It blocks all the ads on any Apple device. Will be, except Apple ads. By the way, that clearly is a monopoly. Where are the trust busters to say nobody else's ads? You put it on your website, and they block it on their systems.
Visit GCN.
So you can only see their ads. That is clearly a trust. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here, broadcasting worldwide. Thank you so much for joining us on this Monday edition. I am your host, Alex Jones. We have the documentary filmmaker. We're going to have the trailer for you as well for a film I saw about a month ago here in Austin, Texas. It's won a bunch of awards, and the film is Cartel Land, just to show you what the drug war has done in Mexico as really a warning to where this society and this country is going as well. As the economy breaks down and as illicit black market systems are the only place people can make money, and you add a bunch of guns into the mix that only criminals have, the general public doesn't have it, you have corrupt police forces that are bought and paid for by the cartels and the CIA, it is a disastrous, disastrous mix. So we have the director of Cartel Land joining us coming up, and that's Matthew Heineman, cartellandmovie.com. But a very powerful film, very, very disturbing as well. So that's coming up in the next segment. And then we're going to have Vani Hari, the food babe, on with us, covering health issues, food issues, activism, because the movement to have GMO labeling, the movement to not buy GMO processed garbage is destroying the globalists right now. It's one of the main areas, if not the main area, that we're having success. And she's right at the tip of the spear. And it's really a testament to what voting with our dollars does. That's why the globalists are in a race to sew everything up Because if the left and the right ever wake up to the fact